Rolling with the triple C, I'ma make him bend the knee. Rolling with the triple C, don't really count the heat.
So we just found out that Belal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards is going to be scheduled for UFC 300. We just got the breaking news that Conor McGregor is going to be fighting in June for International Fight Week against Michael Chandler at 185 pounds. And then now it's the UFC 300 is getting closer. It's getting closer. Like they're starting to really, the UFC is kind of starting to tease a little bit with a lot of these upcoming fights that are coming up, but they definitely want to hit it with the banger. And I think that Belal Muhammad, Leon Edwards fights it's going to be a great competitive fight. I think if there's any fights that's going to be very, very competitive, especially watching them fight for that first time, it's going to be them. You know, stylistically, the way that Belal Muhammad, what he did to Gilbert Burns and how he did it to him, he's only gotten better. And I will say this, man, the closest person to a guy like Khabib Nurmagomedov, his name is actually Belal Muhammad. They do the same kind of cross steps, that kind of run and shoot. They do the same kind of fakes with that lead hand to eventually level change for the takedown. You know, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch their fight from the first time and see how that actually went. But I will say this: they both have gotten better. But if there's one person that I would say that's evolved more than the other, his name is Belal Muhammad. You know, he's just gotten so freaking much better. You know, he's a freestyle fighter. It's not like he has like this crazy swift technique like Leon or beautiful knees up the middle or front kicks that are extremely dangerous. What he does know how to do is he does know how to mix his damn fighting. He knows how to level change at the right time. He knows when to bait you to eventually go in for a takedown. You know, he knows when to press and when is it that somebody is fatigued and tired like he did to Tom Brady, and to press him and to pretty much to eventually kind of just pick him off. And Colby Covington also does a really good, he also does a really good change up whenever it is that he feels like he fatigues his opponent. Then he eventually brings them up on their feet and then they just go to work. Do they have that power? No. Because they're actually, Leon Edwards and Colby Covington, they're both volume fighters. So when you're a volume fighter, that takes away a little bit from that power that you should have. Leon Edwards, on the other hand, he has power. And he is a volume fighter too, but he has more of that dangerous power with that left kick. You know, the same kick that he caught Kamaru Usman with. Stylistically, when I think of this fight, when I think of Leon Edwards and Belal Muhammad, I mean, I was wrong. I was wrong for the Colby fight, but I just don't feel like Colby showed up. I really don't. I feel like Colby Covington just did not show up. Like he left his balls maybe in Canada or somewhere, but it wasn't in the U.S. And it was disappointing. Now Belal Muhammad, on the other hand, you know, this guy has that chip on his shoulder. This guy's doing it for the Middle East. You know, being from the Middle East, and you know, we see Belal Muhammad post a lot on everything that's going on with Palestine and Israel right now, and I just feel like the train for him is running, and he's only getting better, and especially the fact that he's going and he's training with a guy like Khabib Nurmagomedov, and actually more like he'll probably do his camp maybe with Khabib to help him win that title and help him win that fight. Then again, I think about it again. I don't know if, I mean, if Belal Muhammad does win, and I know how Muslims are, you know, will Islam Makhachev go up and now fight Belal Muhammad when they're pretty much, they've trained together. They both, you know, they're both really good friends with Khabib. And I know that they do have a brotherhood, but looking back at that now, because I do believe now that the fact that this fight kind of took place, I do believe that the way that they're going to do it is they're going to do Justin Gaethje versus Islam Makhachev, and obviously we all know that they're going to do Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad. But not the simple fact that, let's say for whatever reason, you know, Islam beats Gaethje, Belal Muhammad beats Leon Edwards, is would a guy like Islam Makhachev, the pound for pound king, would he want that greed and go up and challenge him at 170 pounds? That's another storyline. Has anybody thought that? Because I know how I've been around the Dagestanis. I know how they are. Like on top of them becoming world champions, or even above that, to them it's all about loyalty and honor. Like it really is, man. You're either with them or you're against them. If you guys are friends and they consider you friends, they won't fight. And then they don't even necessarily consider themselves friends. It's more of a brotherhood. So it throws a wrench into Islam's plan of him becoming a double champ, but it also keeps Islam at 155 pounds to where he can go down the light and fight, Sarukian. Even though that's been his closest fight in the UFC, he can fight Charles Oliveira once again. I mean, there's a lot of up-and-coming fighters at 155 pounds. I even like the fact that, you can even throw Fiziev in there, Fiziev. I mean, throw him in there as well. As you keep the weight classes going, and I think there should be a cap or a limit in order for somebody to go up to eventually challenge for another bout. In my situation, when I did fight Demetrius Johnson, when I did fight for the bout, TJ, first of all, came down to my weight class at 125 pounds. And it was only logical. You don't want the 25-pounder to say he's better than the 35-pounder. So that's the same reason why I went up. So I went up because I just beat the guy with 11 tower defenses and Demetrius Johnson. And then I fought TJ Dillashaw, but he came down first. So then I decided to go up. And then obviously he tested positive for EPO. Ended up fighting Marlon Moraes at that time, #1 contender, the most dangerous fighter before he went on this crazy-ass losing streak. Ended up beating him, ended up defending my title against Dominic Cruz, the greatest bantamweight of all time at that time. But I think moving forward, looking back at it now, if you don't have a scenario situation like that, I think there should be like maybe a 5 to 6 fight cap in order for these guys to start going up and actually start challenging. I think Israel was well deserved to fight for the light heavyweight title. I think Volkanovski was well deserved to fight for the 155-pound title. But I think Islam still has. I think there's still a lot of stories. I think there's still a lot of things to be done and to be made at 155 pounds because it's so stacked. But to get back to Belal Muhammad has a great situation, but he could also, because of the brotherhood, he could also put a cap and throw a wrench. And what is it that Islam really does want to accomplish? Stylistically, to get back to Belal Muhammad, this is a great fight for Belal. It really is, man. It really, really is, because Belal's not going to be playing. He's not going to be doing what Kobe did. He's going to be doing what Kobe did, or he should be doing what Kobe did in the 5th round at least. And I think anybody that fights a guy like Leon should be doing the exact same thing. Has Leon got better? 100%. Could he be exposed through those areas? It's still 100%. So, Belal Muhammad, Leon Edwards, I like it. UFC 300. It's gonna maybe the way how stacked this card could be, they may not even be the co-main event. But if they are, that's gonna be one hell of a fight. I still have my prediction for UFC 300. Israel Adesanya comes back. Is going to be the main event with Alex Pereira. And who knows? Maybe it will be Belal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards. And maybe the co-main event, maybe Zhang Weili versus Alexa Grasso. Or maybe they might just run it back. Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko for your co-main event. So many great fights. So many things to be looking forward to. But anyways, guys, to start off the new year, the UFC is coming out with a bang. I'm out.